So I've got two comic book packs here with my cup of coffee, and I thought I would go through both of them and maybe make this a nice long unboxing of these comic books here. So I picked these out because this cover really intrigued me, because I saw that movie Brightburn, and I don't know about you, but this really reminds me of Brightburn, which is a movie about a speculative movie that if Superman had come to Earth but was evil instead of good. And this kid looks kind of evil. And on the back there is a Micronauts comic, which I've never seen. And this one has Supergirl and a Battlestar Galactica. So we don't know what's in between. That's the fun of it all. It's a comic book super value pack for $20. 10 different comic books. So, without further ado, let's open this up and see what we got. Okay, so the Micronauts is in plastic, and this comic was 75 cents, and it says 1982, so this is a vintage comic. Pushing 40 years old. I'm going to move the other comics out of the way real quick. And let's just look at them one at a time. So this is an old classic comic cover with kind of a surprisingly graphic cover for that time period. It's got sort of a zombie Nazi looking character on the front of it. And we got the Micronauts, and on the back it's actually one whole picture, which is also a little unusual for that time period, which is pretty cool. Makes this a special comic. We got Micronaut fan club mails there, and then we have the characters. And Stanley presents the Micronauts Adrift, Marionette, Commander Ran, Devil, Bug, Acroyer, Microtron, Nanotron. So I guess you could say these are a little bit more obscure superheroes from what we're used to seeing. It's got that good classic artwork on the old classic comic book paper. I do think I've seen an action figure for him. So I don't know if they've made one or not. He looks like a lot of characters though, with that sort of Spartan helmet. She looks a little like the Dazzler with the way her eye makeup is. I don't know if you can see that. That looks like the Human Torch. And this was definitely a racy Marvel comic for the day. This is downright scandalous in 1982. picture right there. The old World War II planes. So that wasn't supposed to be a zombie Nazi, that was a zombie airplane pilot. Here's how to draw Gil Kane. Oh no, I'm sorry. Hey Microphiles, Micronauts, and Micromaniacs. Back when Gil Kane first took on the Micronauts, he did some fancy sketching to work the kinks out of the complex cast of characters he was tackling. Here and on the following pages are some of those original drawings to feast your eyes on, true believers. So it sketches concept art. This was a kind of ahead of its time comic, I have to say. It's and also, did you notice there was like no ads? So that's weird too. That's just kind of, I wonder what the deal was with this. I had to investigate this a little bit more. I'm definitely holding on to this one though, from my vintage comic collection. It's always exciting when you get one of these in the pack, one of these in plastic. The next one is called The Scourge. It's a much more modern comic for $2.99, put out by Aspen and Valhalla and aspenstore.com, and you can get artwork and comics. It feels good. Almost looks like a movie advertisement here. Artwork is really good. Very graphic and gruesome. I do really like this artwork. That looks a bit like an Andy Warhol. Fathom Blue Descent. I like these covers. I always like that whole steampunk look right there. Good 2-page spread there. It looks like a wedding bride and all kinds of... Looks like an interesting story. Wow. The next one is a very graphic cover. This is Slab Number 2, Fresh Flesh. And on the back, XCOM 2. This is put out by Double Take. The cover alone is pretty gross. On the inside, we've got an ad for Battleborn. And look at the little boxes for this comic. No dialogue, just pictures. Some fairly graphic pictures too. It's got some mature topics like appears to be smoking marijuana. Drinking alcohol. Definitely not a kid's comic. having a twister party. And there seems to be some vampire action going on. The old switch to black and white effect that you see in a lot of comics, whether it's to indicate a flashback or being in a dark room, may be getting a little overused these days. This is an interesting graphic. It's a map and it shows different comics and where they take place. I guess this is an interconnected Evans County, Pennsylvania universe, and that's kind of interesting. Huh. Very interesting. Now that one is definitely a curiosity. This is Zinger. And the back of it, we have a sketch. 21st century haircut, $10. Cajun dialect lessons, $50. Secret identity, priceless. For some, there's the typical superhero book. For everyone else, there's the Victorian. And I think if you've watched my other videos, I've been really interested in the Victorian comics. I've enjoyed looking at the artwork and the general idea of them. The Wicked Wish, Zinger, Heart of Fire, Book 5. The artwork in this is pretty good. Very lemony, lemon lime colored, I guess you could say. Pretty long comic too. Interesting. What's next? Midnight Tiger by Action Lab. On the back, Jedi Academy ad. And I think the fact that they're getting an ad like this shows from Scholastic that this is maybe an indie comic, but it's still got some nice connections. It's not like something that you would buy at a real like underground bookstore or something. Kind of reminds me of Midnight Tiger. It's got a lot like Black Panther. The costume is very similar. The artwork's okay. It's a little bit of that unrealistic style, but I don't mind it. It's colorful, it's crisp. Hero Cats of Stellar City. Interesting. Oh, here is that old Free Comics All-Star Superman that we've already seen. I don't know how many times in my videos. They pack this one in all the time to, if you want to see this flip through, go back to any of my other ones and I think it shows up in nearly all of them. Here's another issue of the Victorian, and I'm building my collection of this fascinating comic here that reminds me a lot of Bioshock. Time and again. Oh wait, here we go. I like this one, and I'm looking forward to sort of accumulating a bunch of them together. I like the paper, because this paper is kind of thicker and has this cool matte finish. I really like how it feels. Oh wow. I think I've seen something like this in a lot of the other Victorians. I really enjoyed this comic. Next is The Last Contract by Boom Studios. There's an ad for Power Rangers on the back. Ooh, I like that brown tone page right there. Artwork is grungy and dingy, and I like it. I like this artwork a lot. Still printed on that cool paper that I was talking about. This matte finish, thicker stock of paper. A little bit of graphic violence. See, pictures like that I really like. You know, with the lights in the dark. At dusk, I like drawing pictures like that too. I might want to draw a picture like that in an upcoming video. I really like stuff like that. Bill and Ted Go to Hell. It's amazing that another Bill and Ted movie's coming out now. Kindle Block Blues. What do we got next? We have Guardians Team Up. All right, this is a good comic. $3.99. We see the Silver Surfer, and that looks like Groot, maybe. I'm gonna say this is post the movie because honestly, a lot of people didn't even know what Guardians of the Galaxy was before the movie came out. Yeah, this is Wigan. Here are the Guardians, and they have been sort of touched up to look like the movie. That famous sort of Guardians of the Galaxy nebula and space shot. So. Oh, Loot Crate boxes. That was a big fad a few years ago, and so many of them ended up in garbage bins because after a while it was really just a matter of how much stuff do you want to own. And I had a membership to Loot Crate and to Nerd Block at one time, and after a while I was disappointed with the sort of things I was getting because some of it was cool, so maybe there'd be a good Funko Pop or a good shirt, but then a lot of times you were just getting sort of swag that you could pick up for free at a Comic-Con. There's a sticker in here you can peel off. That's a very good ploy to get you to start. That's what Columbia House and BMG used to use. People love stickers. People love to peel them off and stick them on things. Publishers Clearinghouse also used that trick. Marvel Legends, as you know, I really enjoy these figures. There's Vision, an Iron Man, War Machine, Blizzard, yes, and then to make the Hulkbuster. And I think now we're down to the one that really caught my interest, which is this Superman American Alien, which just reminded me of Brightburn, and I don't know anything about this comic, so I don't know if he's going to be bad in this. He looks kind of sinister, doesn't he? This reminds me of a scene from Brightburn, which is really creepy. I gotta look up the connection between these things. Huh. We need to read this and see if this is like Brightburn, because there appears to be sort of a sinister Clark Kent going on here. It's like his kryptonite. This is interesting. This does look like an interesting read. Okay, intermission time. I'm gonna have a little coffee real quick. I'm also going to show you 2 action figures I found for $1.99. Can you believe that? I've never seen either one of these. This appears to be the R2-D2 from Attack of the Clones. And I guess this is Leia from The Last Jedi. So if you don't want to watch the action figure openings, you can fast forward to the next comic pack. But I see that she's wearing the bracelet from The Last Jedi that she was using to stay in touch with Rey. And she has her classic Leia blaster that she used to stun Poe Dameron with, which is really well detailed. I will say some of these figures, the detail on them, I mean, that really does look like Carrie Fisher from The Last Jedi. There is a little bit of a paint issue with this one. It's once again, that awful basic 5 articulation, but I'm not going to complain too much about the detail. I will say the paint application on this is not so good. She has like apparently a piece of jewelry or a watch here. But I am impressed with the face sculpt. Now we're gonna open up our 2D2. Okay. So you've got your basic R2D2 here, which is nice. What I was worried about was that the little rockets would be stuck in pegs or something, but they're not, and that's good. So if you desire, you've got a good clean R2D2. It's pretty good. It's pretty well done. He does, I think, yeah, this is removable, so you can put him in that configuration, or you can put him in his sort of rolling around configuration. The little wires on the feet are great. Very crisp. You can snap these on, which is nice. I would have not liked it if there were pegs there. And then he can also, the fire from the jets can come off, which is another nice touch. So this is actually a pretty good figure for what you're getting. For $1.99, it's a great deal. So you get a Princess Leia and an R2D2 for less than $4. The basic 5, it's got the force link thing, so you can have it make noises. She has one peg hole for a stand. He has little wheels. If you tinker with it, you can probably remove her this would come off pretty easily. Oh yeah, it comes off very easily. And you can have Leia like this. She can sit. So that's a nice touch too. Not bad for $1.99. I do like the face sculpt. The paint is not so good, especially right at the hair right there, but we got to, for $1.99, I'm sure not complaining. And it's quite easy to put her back into her garment here. It's very flexible. And then she's right back to that first configuration. It looks pretty good. Okay, that will be it for the action figure intermission. And now we can continue with comic books. So, if you recall, this set had a Supergirl on one side and a Battlestar Galactica on the other. Get some coffee. So, let's open them up. And let's start with Battlestar Galactica. Obviously from the new incarnation of Battlestar Galactica by Dynamite. Not the classic one that I watched when I was a kid. I guess that's, is that the Shadow? Yeah, Shadow. I think we looked at a Battlestar Galactica in my last comic review. And I think it's definitely on the PG-13 side of things. I'm not. I've never actually watched the new show, so I'm not sure. I thought it was on regular TV. Very thin paper. Very, very thin paper. And then I guess this is the alternate cover. So photo and then 2 different drawings. Okay. Next is Fathom. Michael Turner's Fathom. Looks like it was cut badly here on the top. It's by Aspen. The Michael Turner tribute issue. Printed on thicker paper than the last one. I think tribute to an artist who died in 2008. Michael Lane Turner. The next is Honor number 2 by Double Take. Dead Badge of Courage. Another XCOM ad. This is like the very similar to the one we looked at in the last pack, with all the small boxes. Wow, that's some graphic stuff there. And here's another map like we saw in the last one, which is interesting, the slab one. Next is The First Hero, Wednesday's Child. And after Lego Marvel Superheroes, so this is put out by Action Lab. Pretty good artwork. Okay. Next is another zinger. It's got a fold out. Pretty good artwork. Thick paper, that matte finish. This is cracking open. We open these pages because they've never been opened before. Okay, next is Hope. So Three Rivers Comic Con. I think this was a freebie. I don't see a price on it. This looks very familiar. I might have done this in a prior video. The artwork looks very familiar. Hmm. Rottentail, I like Cottontail. Oh, hippity hoppity homicide. That just sounds funny. Okay, next is another copy of Victorian, which is a magazine I've been really intrigued with. Really like the artwork and the idea of it. And I love this thick paper. City of Dreadful Night. It's like dead neon, which is cool. To Abraham Lincoln. Artwork is still really good in this. Interesting. Next is the Precent. I've never seen this one before. It's like a cybernetic Bobby, and it's $3.99. This is the first time I've ever opened one of these up. Ooh, wow. Look at the artwork. I really like this. Very detailed. There's some good world building in this comic. Very interesting. Definitely a steampunk. Grumpy Cat and Pokey. Shaft, Imitation of Life. Next is Inhuman by Marvel. And hear Mary talking downstairs. So she's probably like, is he still doing a video up there? It's been 43 minutes. Marvel's Inhumans. I think I have seen a lot of the Marvel Legends figures of the Inhumans. Oh, there's another one with stickers. I don't read digital comics because for me, the whole idea of a comic is the pages and the paper and the artwork and touching it. It's a very tactile thing for me. Okay, now we have a Supergirl. It's in plastic, but it doesn't seem to be all that old. $2.99. It's definitely not that old. trying to look for context clues of the year. This is David Beckham. So, it can't be that old. Judging by the artwork, I would say it's pre-Comicsgate, but I may be wrong about that too. It is pre-Comicsgate, 2006, yeah. So there's a massive change in comic books since then. Some people like the change, and a lot of people hate the change. But, Weird Al. And, alright. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be back with more. So keep watching, click the bell icon to subscribe, and leave a comment, and I hope to see you again here soon. Bye.